Paris, the city of romance, art, culture, and timeless beauty. In the late 1800s, Paris stood as the cultural heart of Europe, a symbol of human creativity and elegance. But in 1886, France wanted something more, something bold, something unforgettable. The country was preparing for the 1889 World's Fair, a massive international exhibition meant to celebrate 100 years of the French Revolution. Millions of visitors from across the globe were expected to arrive. France wanted to impress the world. They needed a monument so extraordinary that it would capture humanity's imagination forever. That was when a radical idea emerged, an idea so daring, so unbelievable, that many called it madness. A tower made entirely of iron, 300 meters tall, taller than any structure humans had ever built. A tower that would scrape the sky. This is the incredible story of how the Eiffel Tower was built. In 1884, two engineers working for the company of Gustave Eiffel, named Maurice Koechlin and Émile Nouguier, sketched a bold design. Their drawing showed a massive iron tower supported by 4 gigantic legs, curving upward and meeting at a single point. At first, even Eiffel himself was unsure. No such structure had ever been attempted. The tallest building in the world at that time was the Washington Monument, standing at just 169 meters. The proposed tower would be almost twice that height. The challenges were enormous. Wind resistance, structural stability, foundation, strength worker safety. But the idea fascinated Eiffel. After refining the design and adding architectural beauty, Eiffel officially presented the plan to the French government. In 1886, the French government announced an international design competition. Over 100 proposals were submitted. Among them, Eiffel's design stood out, bold, innovative, revolutionary. And in 1887, Gustave Eiffel won the competition. The dream was approved. Construction was about to begin. But not everyone celebrated. As news spread across Paris, a wave of anger and fear erupted. Many of Paris's most famous artists, writers, and architects despised the idea. They called the tower a monstrous skeleton, a factory chimney, a disgrace to Paris. More than 300 artists and intellectuals signed a furious petition demanding the project be cancelled. They feared the tower would ruin the classical beauty of Paris forever. Newspapers printed harsh headlines. Public protests filled the streets. But Gustave Eiffel remained calm. He believed history would prove them wrong, and he moved forward. Designing the tower was an engineering miracle. More than 5,300 detailed drawings were created. Every beam, every bolt, every rivet was precisely calculated. The tower would consist of 18,038 iron parts, 2.5 million rivets. Total weight, over 10,000 tons, yet, despite its enormous mass, the tower needed to be flexible enough to sway slightly in strong winds. The curved shape of the legs wasn't just beautiful, it was mathematical perfection, distributing pressure evenly across the structure. Wind resistance calculations were so precise that modern engineers still admire them today. Eiffel was not just building a tower, he was rewriting the rules of architecture. Construction, officially, began on January 28, 1887. The first challenge was the foundation. Each of the 4 massive legs required deep concrete bases capable of supporting thousands of tons of weight. Near the Seine River, workers had to dig below water level using compressed air chambers to prevent flooding. This was extremely dangerous work. Men descended into dark, pressurized underground chambers, digging through mud and rock, risking decompression sickness and collapse. But slowly, the foundations took shape. Massive concrete blocks were poured. Giant iron plates were bolted into place. After months of backbreaking labor, the ground was finally ready to support the iron giant. With the foundations complete, the iron structure began to rise. Each iron part was pre-manufactured in Eiffel's factory, then transported to the site and assembled like a giant mechanical puzzle. Precision was critical. A mistake of even 1 millimeter could destroy the entire structure. Workers climbed hundreds of feet into the air with no safety harnesses, no modern cranes, no protective equipment, only ropes, pulleys, steam-powered lifts, and raw courage. The assembly process required extraordinary teamwork. Each rivet was heated until red-hot, placed into position, and hammered from both sides. As the rivet cooled, it contracted, locking the metal pieces. Together with incredible strength, millions of rivets, millions of hammer strikes, day after day. As the tower grew taller, danger increased. Workers balanced on narrow iron beams, hundreds of meters above the ground. A single misstep meant certain death. The wind howled, rain soaked the metal. Concern for worker safety was revolutionary. One of the most breathtaking engineering feats occurred when connecting the 4 legs at the first platform. Each leg was constructed separately and had to meet perfectly at the same height. To achieve this, Eiffel used hydraulic jacks, capable of adjusting each leg with millimeter precision. Slowly, carefully, the legs were aligned. When they finally met, the structure locked together flawlessly. The crowd watching below erupted in applause. Winter froze their fingers. Yet remarkably, only one worker died during the entire construction, an astonishing safety record for the time. Eiffel personally insisted on strict safety rules. Guardrails, safety screens, special platforms. The impossible had become reality. The deadline was brutal. The tower had to be completed in time for the 1889 World's Fair. Any delay could ruin France's global reputation. Workers labored day and night. Cold winters, hot summers, relentless pressure. Yet, incredibly, the entire structure was completed in just 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days. A construction speed that still amazes engineers today. On March 31st, 1889, the final iron piece was lifted into place. At 300 meters tall, the Eiffel Tower became the tallest man-made structure in the world, surpassing all monuments, cathedrals, and pyramids. Gustave Eiffel climbed the tower himself. At the very top, he raised the French flag. Below, Paris erupted in celebration. Fireworks filled the sky. Music echoed across the city. The impossible had been achieved, yet many still hated. The tower. They believed it was ugly, temporary, a mistake. The tower was originally planned to stand for only 20 years and then be dismantled. But history had other plans. Eiffel encouraged scientific experiments from the tower. Meteorology, physics, radio, transmission. When wireless communication became essential, the tower proved invaluable. It became a giant radio antenna, saving it from demolition. Slowly, public opinion changed. What was once hated became admired. What was once feared became loved. During World War I, the Eiffel Tower played a critical military role. Radio signals intercepted from the tower helped stop enemy attacks. It became a silent guardian of Paris. During World War II, when Nazi forces occupied Paris, French engineers disabled the elevators. Hitler never climbed the tower. After the war, the tower once again became a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience. Today, the Eiffel Tower welcomes over 7 million visitors every year. It has appeared in films, paintings, photographs, books, love stories, marriage proposals. It stands as a universal symbol of love, beauty, innovation, human determination. More than a monument, it is proof that bold dreams can change the world. The Eiffel Tower reminds us that every great achievement begins as a fragile idea, mocked, doubted, challenged. Yet when vision meets courage, miracles happen. From a sketch on paper to a structure touching the clouds. The Eiffel Tower is not just made of iron, it is built from human imagination, bravery, and hope. And it stands today as a timeless reminder: nothing is impossible.